Rita tells us to what conclusions can you make about the end behavior of odd degree polynomial functions. Odd degree polynomial functions is this one right here. You can't see that. Try that again. Odd degree polynomial functions. Rita, you're going to focus right here. Help me fill out this left side here, please. Question. Are you looking at the left or the right one? This one? Okay. So you're saying as x approaches positive infinity, so as you're going towards the right, what's happening to the graph? Correct. Yep, it's going down. So again, if you're getting stuck on that, you're always having this sentence the same. This is saying going towards the right. What happens to my graph? It finishes up. So again, if it helps you, label your axes like that. As you're going towards the left, it goes down. Thank you, Rita. Sienna. Go ahead and do the right side.
As x approaches positive infinity.
Uh-huh.
As x is negative infinity.
So as I'm going towards the right, it goes down. Negative infinity is correct.
As x approaches negative infinity. As x approaches negative infinity.
Where's my arrow going? As you're going towards the left, right? What's happening to your roller coaster? Up or down?
Up.
How do you say up? Positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. Raise your hand if you got that. Good job. Letter D. Raymond, can you read that for us, please?
What conclusion can you make about the domain and the range of all even degree polynomial functions?
Okay. It says even degree polynomial functions. So I'm going to highlight that. Even degree polynomial functions. To review, domain, you go in the direction of left to right. And so I put my pen down. So let's say I pick this graph. As I go from left to right, the first thing I touch is everyone say arrow. Now, this is where it's different. Okay? It's not positive infinity. The domain is the same thing as the x-axis, and the x-axis is going left to right. So the domain, all the numbers that I'm coming from are negative numbers. Let me say that again. It is not positive infinity. It's not the direction of the arrow. It's just that my graph hits the arrow. That's why I'm going to write negative infinity here. It says I can pick any negative numbers over here. And as I go towards the right, the last thing I touch is another arrow. But I'm not concerned that it's pointing up. I'm just concerned that it's going, there's an arrow at the end. That means I can pick any numbers going in the x-axis that are positive. My answer is going to be positive infinity. The range refers to which axis class? The y-axis. And I like to say that it goes from bottom to top. Watch how I use that. In this graph right here, okay, I'm not touching anything, and the first thing I touch is not an arrow on this graph, but I touch some kind of negative number. And then the last thing I touch is the arrows, that is here, positive infinity. On this side, from bottom to top, I touch arrows first. So this case, I would go negative infinity, but then I would end at some number. So in this example, let's just say I focus on just this one right here. My answer for this one would be something like a negative number is where I'm starting the graph. and I'm going to end at positive infinity, because that arrows is the last thing I touch. Let's try that again, but with a different one. Question E, go down to E. Read that one for us, Christine. So we're looking for odd degree polynomial functions, so that's here in orange. And let's just focus on this one. I'm going to do the same thing. Domain refers to which axis, class? X or the Y? It refers to the x-axis. Class, which direction does the domain go? Left to right. You might want to add that to your formula sheet. It's going to be on your projects, which I'm passing out the project papers tomorrow. And as I go from left to right, the first thing I touch is the arrow. Class, does it matter where the arrow is pointing? No. So it's coming from the negative infinity. And then the last thing I touch as I'm going from left to right is the arrow. It's not about because it's pointing up, it's because I'm going in this direction forever. That is positive infinity. So my answer is negative infinity to positive infinity. It basically says you could pick any negative number and any positive number. Class, which axis is the range? It is the y-axis. Class, which direction are you going? Bottom to top. So if you didn't notice, you should be using your pencil. The first thing I touch on my graph is what? A number or an arrow? Is this arrow negative infinity or positive infinity? Negative infinity. And class, what's the last thing I touch on my graph? You touch another arrow, and that'll be positive infinity. Now, even if this bump went up higher, let's just say it goes up higher than the arrow, we would not say that the last thing I touch is the bump. The reason why is because what does this arrow do? It keeps going on forever. Okay? So that's how you complete domain and range.